Hey, welcome back to T3. I'm your host, Mr. U. We are doing mock drafts between now and the first round of the NFL draft, which I believe is April 24th. It's the same night as our first annual live draft special. You can catch us, of course, on YouTube or wherever your social media will find our simulcasted episode. We're going to be doing the entire first round of the draft live. So we're going to have friends and family in the studio with us, dropping some knowledge and some nuggets. It's going to be a fun ride for us. You can find T3 every Thursday night at 7 p.m. EST. We are already doing mock drafts. They're all over YouTube so far. We got plenty more to come. Our goal, get all 32 mock drafts in for all 32 teams. Mammoth task, but we're going to work it out and see what we can do. I got several friends that are highly invested in this team. 3 that comes to mind right away. So I'm going to try to do right by them. That's the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to try to see what they need. Varying opinions on what their team needs are. I know from hearing from my friends, big emphasis on O-line help, offensive help at the tackle spot, of course. Even heard something about quarterback, but I'm not quite sure we're going to address quarterback in this mock draft. We see how it falls, but I highly doubt it. Wide receiver, edge rush, of course, and some help at safety. So we'll see, or cornerback as well, to be honest with you. So we'll see if we can get all of these in. It's going to be a fun ride. I heard about Tyler Lockett recently. Not sure if he's coming back on. So a wide receiver could really be a big help. Never sure about DK Metcalf and if he's going to be hanging around or if he's going to be moved. There's always some challenges on the field with him. And then even with the play, we've seen some areas where there's some lapses the past couple of years. And just effort and some other areas that kind of took him out of the game. So we'll see how it turns out. But as for wide receivers available, we'll go ahead and try to find that guy for our friends that love the Seahawks. So let's see if we can go ahead and jump into this draft real quick, see what we can find. They have 8 picks available. We're going to try to see if we can try to get within 3 rounds, see if we can try to find some guys who can really help out their team. They couldn't get the ground game going last year, so we definitely want to see if we can resolve that. I'm not sure how much they love Kenny McIntosh. I mean, he's flashy, to say the least, but not quite sure they see him as the future. Walker's there, and I think he's definitely the number 1 running back. Will he still continue to be able to get that kind of production here? We'll see, but all intents and purposes, looks good. Tight end, got some concern about Noah Fant. I think he probably should be replaced, or they should look for his replacement somewhere in the draft if possible, or in free agency. 500 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns in several, well, at least last year for sure, but just the 3 seasons that he's been there, the numbers haven't been great. Excuse me. So a guy like Elijah Arroyo out of Miami, I got my eye on him. I mean, he's a big target, 6'4", 251. I want to see if he can perhaps help this team out. We'll see if he's going to be available, and we'll just think about it. But the Seahawks have the 18th pick, and this trade right here is one that we're going to decline. I definitely want to try to help my guys out, so we're taking this 18th pick for sure, unless they blow us away with an offer, and these are not that. So, all right, so we know they need help. O-line, what I've been hearing about the majority of the time. So for me, I think get a chance to get Kelvin Banks here is kind of hard to avoid. Thick, sturdy left tackle. He definitely is good with his hands on the inside. He doesn't, over leverage himself and gets knocked back out of plays. He's powerful. He's strong enough, but also quick and nimble and able to kind of adjust and pick off defenders, and just do all the things that you'd like to see from an offensive tackle. So I like him. I think a lot of teams want to see him as a guard. I think he's going to be helpful in this situation because if he's going to be a guard, I think that's one of the areas that the Seahawks actually need, but they also need a tackle as well. So you got somebody who can play both of those potentially. I think there's some things that could be a high potential for these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get Kelvin Banks over to the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's going to be a good deal for him. So we're going to be all right. So we're going to reject that one totally. That doesn't help us at all. All right. So at this point, we know that we still need some O-line help. I am going to be leaning toward maybe a guy I hadn't thought about leaning toward up to now, but I like Ursary for them. He's naturally on the left side, and if I'm not mistaken, they need help there as well. I'm verifying that real quick. I know they got Charles Cross over there, but I think they can upgrade there, and I think they should. He is definitely strong as a tackle. I haven't got to see a lot of his games. In fact, I don't think I've seen any game from Minnesota, but he has a pretty great name out here. No character issues. I think there's somebody that can potentially help them out. At the same time, I'm sitting here like, okay, these guys need help in other areas too. So it's kind of hard to pass up some of the talent here. Jahdae Barron. I think we're going to go ahead and take him as safety. They need a safety to replace some of the guys that are going to be moving on, or they maybe didn't kind of step up in the ways that they would like. My guy, Julian Love, is back there from the Giants. Honestly, even though he's on our team, I wasn't a huge fan of his. Excuse me. So for me, I think this is a no-brainer. I mean, Barron is basically a Swiss Army knife. He can play on the outside, in the slot, in the box, and rush the passer. He can play as a linebacker in those scenarios. He's an impact player. You can't let guys like that pass you in the draft. I mean, he got great eyes. I mean, he definitely has no problem hitting. I mean, he reads the quarterbacks really well. I mean, the guy, he's great timing. It's hard to say anything bad about him at all. He's pretty good, and he definitely is great at tackling in space, which is something that it frustrates you so much when you see teams not being able to tackle in space. It unnerves you. I can say that from experience. But I think we like him here. We're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to reject this trade. So we're on a good track. We're going to keep on going the way we've been going. So, Jahdae Barron, welcome to the Seahawks. All right, so here's the tough part here, because I know that we've been talking about offense a lot, and honestly, the O-line guys that are left, I am not totally sure that I'm super enthusiastic about them. Maybe, perhaps, but this is a toughie. Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and just go with. I'm trying to help my guys out. I want them to be mad at me here. You know what? Wow. Yeah, the pickings are really slim. We're sitting here at 82, and I don't want to drop too far back in the draft. And I don't want to reach for anybody either. Stuck here. We're going to take a Royal here. It's a bit of a reach for us. We're at 82 and we're dropping down to 92, but I think this guy might be worth, his juice might be worth the squeeze. I mean, he's 21 years old. I mean, he has at 35 receptions, 590 yards, I think it was, with 7 touchdowns. Excuse me. 6'4", 251. I mean, he's bigger than Derrick Henry. So look at that for perspective. I think he is a better prospect than Noah Fant is. I think he's somebody who can handle the linebackers and the safeties that come at him. I mean, he's strong. He's definitely a passing attack weapon. He's a huge threat. And I think he'd be that on a professional level as well. So I think we should go ahead and roll with that. Let us know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts about my Seahawks draft. Send your mocks to us on our YouTube channel at They Call Me Mr. U, or wherever you find this episode on your social media platforms. Love to hear your thoughts on this. We have fun. Be on the lookout for more mock drafts coming your way soon. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.